Plans are being finalized for the All-American Marathon this weekend. Thousands of runners from across the country have signed up for the 26-mile run from downtown through the historic Haymount neighborhood, then to Fort Bragg and the finish line at the Iron Mike statue. Two shorter runs will be held on post. Fayetteville and Fort Bragg are still working to make this annual run the U.S. Army's official marathon. The run begins Sunday morning at 7 o'clock, and ABC 11 is a very proud sponsor of this event. Hopefully the weather's going to look really nice for them.
There's so many inspiring stories that come out of that marathon. I just love it.
Great.
Run.
Volunteer.
Or cheer.
We want you at the All-American Marathon.
Register now for the marathon or
the Mike to Mike Half Marathon.
In Fayetteville, April 3rd.
Run, volunteer,
or cheer.
Visit abc11.com today for details.
Countdown is on to race day in Fayetteville. The Sandhills getting ready for this weekend's All-American Marathon. Thousands of runners have signed up for the 26-mile run. The course takes you from downtown through the historic Haymount neighborhood, then to Fort Bragg, and the finish line is at the Iron Mike statue. Two shorter runs will be held on post. The run begins Sunday morning at 7. ABC 11, a proud sponsor this year. Hopefully they'll have good weather.
Absolutely.
Well, you, the vote.
This week.
Also, a sea of red, white, and blue this weekend in Fayetteville. The areas you may want to avoid during the All-American Marathon.
But first, here's a live look at downtown Raleigh under Run.
volunteer,
Or cheer.
We want you at the All-American Marathon.
Register now for the marathon or
The Mike to Mike Half Marathon.
in Fayetteville, April 3rd.
Run, volunteer,
Or cheer.
Visit abc11.com today for details.
Countdown to race day is on in Fayetteville. The Sandhills getting ready for this weekend's All-American Marathon. Thousands of runners have already signed up for this 26-mile run. The course takes you from downtown through the historic Haymount neighborhood, then Fort Bragg, and then the finish line at the Iron Mike statue. Two shorter runs will also be on post. The run begins Sunday morning at 7. ABC 11 Together is a proud sponsor this year. Well, the All-American Marathon is just a few days away. ABC 11 is a proud sponsor of the race. Thousands of runners will compete Sunday in the marathon, Mike-to-Mike half marathon, and 5K races. The race starts at 7 a.m. at Festival Park in downtown Fayetteville and ends on the parade field at Fort Bragg. Now, if you can't make it out to watch the race or take part in the Finish Line Festival, we will have coverage right here on ABC 11 and ABC11.com. Always love to watch that. Yeah, Greg Barnes. Everybody loves to come out and say hi to Greg.
He's back with us now. The other big event in Fayetteville this weekend is the All-American Marathon, kicking off at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. I know a lot of people are getting ready for that. What are things going to be feeling like?
Well, at least it'll be dry out there.
Okay,
I mean, that's
good.
always a big concern whenever runners start. But it will be chilly, so you may have to start with a few extra layers.
Good morning, Ramble. The All-American Marathon taking over Fayetteville today. Greg Barnes up early, joining us with live reports from that race. 46 degrees. They'll put on those long johns when they're running today. 6 o'clock in the morning on this Sunday, April the 3rd. Welcome. I'm Anthony Wilson.
And I'm Caitlin Canute. Great to have you with us this morning. Speaking of the marathon going on, this is one that people told me if you're going to start running on a regular basis, Steve, you should check out. They say it is quite the experience.
Oh, really?
It's really cool to run that one.
Oh,
so,
cool.
and I'm sure Greg will fill us in on why, but it draws people from all over.
That's neat.
So, yeah, maybe next year you can do that one.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe.
Step at a time.
All right, guys.
Is getting ready to pound the pavement this morning for the All-American Marathon.
Yeah, this one stretches from downtown Fayetteville all the way to Fort Bragg, and ABC 11 is a proud sponsor. Greg Barnes getting up early this morning to join us from the starting line. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, guys. It's a great day for a marathon. The temperature is nice and cool right now. It's going to be a cool day for running, and as you can see behind me, we've got lots of runners already starting to gather here right beside the starting gate on Ray Avenue. This is the 3rd annual All-American Marathon, sponsored by us in Fort Bragg and some other businesses and groups here in Fayetteville. Tom McCollum at Fort Bragg, talk about this year.
Yeah, this year it's going to be great. Temperature-wise, runners could not ask for a better temperature. Now, there may be a 20-mile-an-hour headwind coming in from the northwest, so sorry about that. We don't control the weather. But we met our goal of more than 3,700 runners, and of those, over 820 are full marathon runners. A neat thing in that, we have some international runners, and General Townsend, our commander out at Fort Bragg, is running the full marathon. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Talk about, if you would, I guess, the terrain these guys have got to go up. I mean, you're going up Morgan Morganton Road, then you're going down All-American on the Bragg. How much of a obstacle is that?
There are some short, steep hills, and there are some long, drawn-out hills. The long one is on All-American. It's not real steep, but it's a gradual one, and sometimes you may, if you're driving it, you may not realize it. If you're running it, you will realize it.
And that's what we heard from some of the runners last year.
Yeah.
That once they hit that bridge on All-American, or that hill on All-American, they really struggled. But it's going to end on Main Post Parade Field.
Correct, yep. Main Post Parade Fields, where we're having our Finish Festival. A lot of equipment displays. All of our sponsors have their booths set up for information, recovery. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It really will. And of course, folks here in Fayetteville can go out this morning and see as they run by. They're going down Morganton Road and up in Haymont, which is the historic section of Fayetteville. And then they're going to be along All-American, and there's some entertainment out there for them as well.
Yeah, this is our first year. The Arts Council of Fayetteville put together some international folk groups to perform during the route. We've got 6 going all the way from Scotland, Ghana, Hawaii, though that's not international, Indonesia, Mexico, and the Caribbean. That is going to be an added feature, and it helps to show Fayetteville's diversity.
I was going to say, it's going to be a good party, so we're going to have a good time.
Every year we're getting better.
All right, good. There you go. That's what we've got to look forward to. The race starts right at 7 o'clock here. We'll be running the full marathon, the half marathon, a couple of 5Ks. Don't worry about it. It should be out of downtown and mostly on Fort Bragg, just in time for everybody to head out to Sunday school and church. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning, but we see the makings of what's going to be a great time down here, guys.
You bet.
Sounds great. Good luck to all of those runners. Thank you, Greg.
Greg Barnes live in Fayetteville. In other news, a plane crash.
Thousands of runners taking part in the marathon, half marathon, and 5K races. Greg Barnes is joining us early live this morning to give us a look at everything going on. Greg, thank you so much for getting up and joining us. And we know lots of people are excited about this one today. Tell us what we can expect to see and the kind of crowds that are gathering.
Hey, guys. Yeah, listen, we are having a party down here in downtown Fayetteville. You see the runners starting to really come out now and get ready for this race. Kicks off at 7 o'clock. And a lot of the folks taking part in the marathon, if you will, are Fort Bragg soldiers. And here's the boss right here, Lieutenant General Steve Townsend. You're running the full marathon.
I am.
So you got not only Army pride, but a general's pride on the line.
I'm just going to try to finish. I'll be happy with the finish today.
This is all about the fitness of Fort Bragg troops. It's a tribute to Fort Bragg troops. Talk about that.
Well, you know, the All-American Marathon and the Mike-to-Mike Half Marathon are a partnership between Fort Bragg and Fayetteville, the city of Fayetteville. And we just want the soldiers to come out and as many the local community come out. And we got runners traveling from all over to come run with us today. And you know, it's about resilience, toughness, the American spirit, can do.
And there's going to be a lot of that on display as these guys, you know, go up Morganton Road, that hill at Morganton Road, and then there's also that other hill on All-American.
There's a few hills that'll test our spirit today.
But it's still going to be a good time.
Absolutely.
What's your time going to be? Do you know yet?
So my objective is to finish without injury. I'm going to shoot for something under 4 if I can.
Good. Good luck to you, General. Thank you very much. All right, there you go. He's going to be leading the pack. I mean, who's going to pass him? Anyway, it kicks off at 7 o'clock in a few minutes. Check back with us a few minutes after 7. We'll have the kickoff as everybody lines up and heads out for this marathon. It's going to be a great day, guys. Back to you.
Greg, we want your secret for being so enthusiastic at this hour.
I know. For someone who doesn't normally do this shift, yeah, Greg, I'm impressed.
Good job. 46 degrees now, 6:37.
Well, some people do sit-ins and others apparently do smoke-ins. Coming up on Eyewitness News.
This instant, ABC 11 Eyewitness News at 7 starts right now.
Top of the hour, and in just a second, we're going to count it down. They're off. The All-American Marathon now underway in Fayetteville. Greg Barnes joins us in just a bit for live reports.
Yeah, good luck to all of those runners doing the marathon, the half marathon, and the 5K there in Fayetteville, ending on Fort Bragg. This is one exciting race. People say if you get a chance, you should definitely check it out and do it. Just looks like a lot of fun. A challenging course, though. So we've heard from Greg, and again, like Anthony said, you'll hear much more from him coming up in a live report.
Well, runners like you and Steve say it's pretty good running weather. We've got 46 degrees at 7 o'clock. All runners already pounding the pavement this morning for the All-American Marathon.
Yeah, that stretches from downtown Fayetteville all the way to Fort Bragg, and ABC 11 is a proud sponsor. Greg Barnes has been following the action for us this morning. In fact, he brought us those live pictures. We saw them take off earlier, and it looks like a huge crowd, Greg.
All right, listen, we had a great beginning for this marathon. Let me show you some video. This is the way it began just a few minutes ago. There you go. 3,700 folks lined up for this marathon and the half marathon, the 5K too as well. They're also running one marathon out at Fort Bragg. It took them just a few minutes to clear through the starting gate here on Ray Avenue and then head into downtown Fayetteville, go around the market house, and then head back out towards Fort Bragg. We're expecting the runners to reach Fort Bragg probably in about 3 hours. Most of the runners that we talked with said they're going to try to do the 26-mile marathon anywhere from about 2 hours to 4 hours, depending on their run speed. Of course, it's a lot of Fort Bragg soldiers involved in this, and Fort Bragg Commander Steve Townsend, Lieutenant General Steve Townsend, leading part of the pack here as well. This is a big deal for Fayetteville and Fort Bragg because this helps bring our community so much closer together. We talked to the mayor earlier today. We've also talked with soldiers and civilians, too, who say this is really just a great bonding time with the soldiers and the soldiers with the civilians and the neighbors here. So it's a good time. We're breaking down. We're heading out to Fort Bragg. So hopefully in about the next half hour or so, we'll be along the route, maybe get some more pictures and sound for you. Back to you guys.
All right, great to see them and great to see you first thing in the morning, Greg. Appreciate it.
Thousands of runners packed the streets before dawn this morning for the All-American Marathon. There was also a half marathon and a 5K, all of it to pay tribute to Fort Bragg troops and the Fayetteville community. Greg Barnes was at the starting line.
John Gubo started this Sunday morning marathon with the sheer determination not to let a traumatic brain injury keep him down.
Can't do everything like drive a car, but I still can do something.
He and 3,800 other runners and cyclists took to Fayetteville streets Sunday morning. They call it the All-American Marathon, with good reason. Folks from nearly 24 states came here to run.
A family run, fun, and memory. We're running for the fallen. Remember the fallen.
I think it pulls people together, kind of builds a tie.
The runners, many Fort Bragg soldiers and veterans, passed historic Fayetteville neighborhoods and then through a patriotic gauntlet of red, white, and blue in a community proud to show its colors.
And it's about resilience, toughness, the American spirit, can do.
And they did. 18-year-old Jennifer Stevenson won the half marathon.
I didn't train for it, so it was a little hard.
Isaac Reese from North Dakota finished first in the full marathon, but not, he said, for himself.
I did it for the veterans that cannot walk. I did it for the people. I'm about to enlist, go basically June 7th. I'm going to do this for the military.
And John Gubo, he finished what he started.
It's a prescription no doctor could give me. It's just, you can't, it's teamwork. And it never ends.
And the runners say the real prize in this marathon, crossing this finish line and completing this race. And this was a race of reasons. Medals reflecting the challenge and the prize. At Fort Bragg, Greg Barnes, ABC 11, Eyewitness News.
The All-American Marathon never fails to inspire. Congrats to all who finished the race today. Coming up on